Good evening, everybody. Testing, testing. All right, it is just shy of 8:30, and we're ready to get going with Breakers Club number 1 for 2026. This is the third of 5 evenings where we will be opening 3 more. I was going to say boxes of cards. That's not quite accurate because, as you can see, one of our quote unquote boxes is actually a tin of cards today. So, yes, let's quickly go through what we're going to rip tonight. So, for tonight's break, we will be ripping this tin of Donruss Preferred. I have never opened one of these, but I am excited to give it a go. We will be opening a box of 1996 Topps Stadium Club Series 2. Don't think I've ever opened this either, and this is a hobby box. And then we also have a mega box of the 2025 Panini Prism, which should have 12 exclusive mega box pink prisms and should also have an autograph. So, amongst other things. So that is what we are going to be ripping tonight. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to start with the Stadium Club because this is going to be the longest box in terms of just number of cards. We've got 24 packs with 10 cards per pack. And hopefully the cards aren't bricked. That is the one fear about mid-90s stuff in particular. But hopefully it's fine. Good evening, JC. Glad you could join us tonight. All right, so Stadium Club, this is Series 2, which according to the box should have potential Mickey Mantle retrospectives, Laser Cup medalist, Laser Cup foils, Power Packed Power Matrix, Bash and Burn dual etched foil, TSC Stadium Club Award, diffraction foil, and extreme player game cards. So lots of foil stuff, which is par for the course for mid 90s. So there's your packs, and I'm going to pull all the packs out. Wrappers, a lot of packs. This is back when boxes had a lot of packs in them. Something we don't get nearly as much of anymore. All right, so there's our stacks. Let's jump right in, shall we? Let's see. Do they have odds on the back? Extreme player cards, golds 1 in 48, silver 1 in 24, bronze 1 in 12. So we should get 1 to 2 bronze and hopefully a silver with about a 50% chance of getting a gold. So that's if those odds are to be believed. All right. Pack wrapper's kind of sticking to the cards, but we'll see how this goes. All right, so our first card, and of course it's Stadium Club, so we'll make sure we show all the images because that's always a highlight. So we start with Jay Buhner, and I overlooked that at first, but it almost looks like his bat's on fire. The dusk, I don't know if they actually, that's an interesting card. I don't know if I've ever seen this particular. That's what the backs look like from 96 Stadium Club. I actually like this design quite a lot. We got John Wasden for Oakland, Robbie Thompson for the Giants, Kurt Abbott for the Marlins. We got Mike Lansing for Montreal, so that'll go to the national spot. And luckily, they do have the team logos on the back, so when I go to sort these, I'll probably just sort them all upside down. But we got Larry Walker for the Rockies, Mark Langston for the Angels, and we have a Team TSC, Randy Johnson for the Mariners. We got a checklist. We got Juan Guzman for the Blue Jays, and our final card of the first pack is a very nice card of the Big Hurt, Frank Thomas for the White Sox. I could see myself wanting to put this set together. I do like this set quite a bit. I don't like the pack wrappers. They don't want to open. There we go. They're like, it's like they have an extra like layer of plastic on them or something. Almost like saran wrap. Jose Vizcaíno for the Mets. Michael Tucker, Royals. We got Denny's Hawking, if I can free him. There we go. There's Denny Hawking for Minnesota. Don Wengert for the A's. We got Charlie Hayes for the Phillies. Oh, we have a Mickey Mantle exclusive. There's a nice Mickey Mantle. Yeah. After an injury-plagued 63, Mickey Mantle regained form in 1964 for his last big season. 33 homers, 111 RBIs. That's kind of cool. Never seen those inserts before. We got Geronimo Baroa for Oakland. And our team TSC is Andy Ashby for the Padres. Now more checklists. Omar Vizquel, looking like he just knocked a catcher out. Look at that. I don't see that anymore. And my boy, Barry Larkin. I have that card already probably several times, but always fun to pull Barry Larkin out of a pack. All right. These pack wrappers are not cooperating, so we're going to scissors today. Carefully, scissors. Next pack. Got Kevin Foster of the Cubs. Ryan Thompson, Mets. Bunch of names I remember and a bunch of names I don't remember. Darren Fletcher, Expos. Turk Wendell, there's a name I have forgotten about for the Cubs. We got Tony Gwynn sliding in with Ozzie Smith getting a cameo appearance there, but that's a Tony Gwynn card. We got Rick Krivda for Baltimore. Robin Ventura for the White Sox. And a nice Hideo Nomo. A pretty cool card. And we have a free Stadium Club membership card. And why not just have Barry Larkin for the second time in a couple packs and Jose Canseco for the Red Sox. Hello, King Twist. We got Jacob Brumfield for the Pirates. Jose Canseco, again, Red Sox, another checklist. Maybe they're going more this way. We got the Crime Dog, Fred McGriff for the Braves. David Howard, I don't remember him, for the Royals. We got Dave Nilsson for the Brewers. There's a nice Pudge for Texas. Jim Eisenreich for the Phillies. Manny Ramirez for Cleveland. If I can separate, well, I'll get that in a second. First, let's do Tim Wakefield for Boston. And then we've got the Manny Ramirez and Rafael Palmeiro for Baltimore. So what do we think of Stadium Club? Old school Stadium Club. Back when Stadium Club was more affordable than what the current sort of version of it is. I don't like the pack wrappers. Did I mention that yet? I really don't want to cooperate, and I don't want to damage the cards. All right, we got there. Michael Tucker for the Royals. Jay Buhner Mariners. Rusty Greer Rangers. And behind him is Ed Sprague of the Blue Jays. We got Jeff Bagwell for Houston. Albert Bell for Cleveland. We got a nice Dante Bichette celebrating with Vinny for the Rockies. We have a Butch Husky for the Mets. Another checklist. Jacob Brumfield for Pittsburgh. And Chris Hammond for the Fish. Next pack. Man. There we go. You think after 20 some packs, I'll figure it out. Ryan Thompson for the Mets. Ruben Sierra for the Yankees. We got Steve Rodriguez for Detroit. Don't remember him. Jeff Fry for Texas. The Orioles get a beautiful Cal Ripken. Rico Brogna for the Mets. Another flashback name. And a nice John Flaherty, like the dust flying there for Detroit. Greg Maddux is our, there's another checklist. Chris Hammond and Albert Bell round that pack out. It seems to be if I cut right there, then I can rip right down the seam. That's the secret. We got her now. Got David Howard for the Royals. Joe Oliver for Seattle, it looks like. Troy Percival for the Angels. Lee Tinsley, Boston. Esteban Loaiza, Pittsburgh. Jose Canseco, Boston. Tony Fernandez, New York. We've got Joey Hamilton for San Diego. Another, well, this is an informational card about the extreme players. Albert Bell, Cleveland, and Juan Guzman for Toronto. I hope everyone is doing well with the latest round of severe weather. In Pennsylvania here, we were 60-some degrees yesterday morning, and by last night, I had an inch or two of snow on the ground. So, did not enjoy that. And my son had no school today because of the weather, ice and snow and stuff. We got Jeff King for the Pirates, Jamie Moyer, Baltimore. We got Buck Showalter as a player. Although, let's say he looks more like a manager than a player because he's posing next to a cactus. That's ridiculous. I love it. Joe Randa, Royals. That might be my favorite card so far. We got James Mountain for Houston. We have a Power Packed Fred McGriff for the Braves. That's a shiny card. I've never seen those inserts before. That's going to the Braves. That's going to Jackal. Maybe that'll be one that he needs. Let's see. JC says lots of dupes. Yes, lots of dupes already. And nice in the 60s in Houston. I am jealous, sir. Will Cordero, Expos. And Sean Green for the Blue Jays. Another informational card. We got Tony Tarasco for Montreal and Chris Hoyles for Baltimore. We had like 1 day, 2 days last week of actual like decent spring weather. It was quite breezy, but it was at least like almost 70. And then we've just been freezing cold again, and the long range forecast looks cold. I don't think we have anything above 50 for the next 2 weeks. Domingo Cedeno for the Blue Jays, Kurt Schilling, Phillies, Joe Randa, Royals, Dave Martinez, White Sox, Norm Charlton for Seattle, Kurt Abbott, Marlins, Curtis Laskanik, there's a name I have totally forgotten about, for the Rockies. We got Derek Jeter flying a tag through the legs or something there, or kind of an interesting shot. Another ad card. Ray Sanchez for the Cubbies and Larry Thomas for the White Sox. We got Felipe Lira. I don't remember that name at all, for Detroit. Andujar Cedeno for San Diego. Armando Benitez for Baltimore. Tommy Green for the Phillies. Will Clark for the Rangers. Roger Pavlik also for Texas. And behind him is Brian Barber for St. Louis. We've got Kareem Garcia for the Dodgers. Mark Carrion for San Fran. And Jose Valentin for the Brewers. Do you remember the time when the Dodgers stars were like Kareem Garcia? That's who the Dodgers got as their representative. Now the Dodgers have like half of all the baseball stars in all of baseball. All right, we got the ageless wonder, Jamie Moyer for the Orioles. Greg Jeffries, kind of an interesting angle on that shot. Another Pudge. Chris Bosio. I'm going to go a little bit faster, or at least try to, because it seems like we are hitting quite a few dupes by now, but not all of these. Marquise Grissom. We're still getting some new cards in each pack. There's a nice Mike Matheny. I like that one. Tom Candiotti for the Dodgers. We've got, these are so hard to read, Wilson Alvarez for the White Sox. Add card. Mark Loretta for the Brewers. And for the Athletics, Steve Ontiveros. I don't know that I've ever heard his name before. Mr. Steve Ontiveros. Any Steve Ontiveros super collectors out there, I wonder? Maybe his mom. Might be about it. Yeah, Kurt Schilling for the Phils. Rick Krivoa? I don't know. Krivda for Baltimore. Gary Sheffield for the Fish. For the Angels, Tony Phillips. That looks like an awkwardly rather painful slide, if you ask me. Jason Isringhausen for the Mets. We got Chris Bosio for the Mariners. Eddie Murphy for the Indians. The Royals get Johnny Damon. Another ad card. Ron Caravice for the White Sox. And Pete Harnish as a Met. He got around, played for a number of teams, including the Reds. Did Pete Harnish. I don't know what his career numbers ended at, but they were probably somewhat respectable. Andujar Cedeno again for the Padres. Chili Davis for the Angels. There's Mike Matheny again. Denny Hawking for the Twins. This feels like a very duplicate-heavy pack. Joey Cora for the Mariners. We got the big hurt, Frank Thomas. Eric Hansen for the Red Sox. Ruben Rivera for the Yankees. Another checklist. Ron Valone Padres. And BJ Surhoff for the Brewers. That might have only had like 2 new cards in it. So I hope you like this design, because some of you are going to get some duplicates. Donnie, good evening. We are just opening the Stadium Club box. So we have pulled 2 inserts and then a lot of base cards. And like I said, with Breakers Club, I like to have boxes that do provide a lot of base cards. Again, I tend to aim this more towards the team collectors as opposed to, and player collectors as opposed to hit chasers. So yeah, lots of base. All right, we got Carlos Perez for Montreal. Mike Stanton for Boston. We've got Shane Andrews for the Expos. Danny Tartable, Oakland. Curtis Laskanik, Rockies. We got another Mickey Mantle card. That one's kind of cooler. I like that one. They all have a different write-up on the back, it appears. That's our second Mantle. We have Brady Anderson of the Orioles. John Smiley for my Reds. Another ad card. Chuck Knobloch for the Twins. And Tony Tarasco for the Expos. All right. Mark Portugal for the Reds. Barry Bonds. Hey, these are some new names for the Giants. We got Luis Arcia for Boston. Steve Wojciechowski. Wojciechowski? I don't know. I'm sure I butchered that for the A's. Kenny Lofton, Indians. We have an Extreme Player Rules card. Is this an actual Extreme Player card? It is. It is Jose Rio, a bronze Extreme Player. He was really good for the Reds when he could stay healthy, which unfortunately was not a lot. I do not own that card. We got Norm Charlton again and Jim Abbott for the Angels. Checklist. Rico Bronya for the Mets and Glenn Allen Hill for San Fran. We should get at least one more bronze. Where were the bronze seeded? 1 and 12. Yeah, so we should get 2 bronze. There's 24, and we should get a silver of those extreme, these things. We got Pat Kelly for the Yankees. Scott Lewis for the Twins. I like him just sitting there. We got Turk Wendell for the Cubbies. Kevin Ritz, Rockies. Raul Mondesi, Dodgers. Mark Grudzielanek, Expos. Will Clark, Rangers. Jose Mesa for Cleveland. Another ad card. Glenn Allen Hill again for the Giants. And Paul O'Neill for the Yankees. He was the best Mike Stanton in baseball for a while. Yes, and then we had another Mike Stanton, and then we did not have a Mike Stanton. All right, he went back to his actual name, I guess. Ismael Valdez. I don't think we've seen that one yet for the Dodgers, so we're still getting some new ones. Jose Vizcaíno for the Mets. For the Reds, get Ron Gant. I've had this card in the past. I like him ripping the cover off the baseball. Kind of a goofy shot. Darren Fletcher for the Expos. Andy Pettitte for the Yankees. Scott Service for the Cubbies. And behind him is Marquise Grissom for the Braves. There, I got those separated. I'm not sure that he's helping out. We got Pat Rapp for the Marlins. Another checklist. Paul O'Neill again, and Reggie Sanders for the Reds. There's Barry Bonds showing up. Behind him, Kevin Foster for the Cubs. Trinidad Hubbard for the Rockies. And behind him is Kenny Lofton of the Indians. We have a very pained-looking Mike Henneman for Houston. Doesn't look like a comfortable way to throw. We got Denny Martinez for Cleveland. There's his card. We have Jason Isringhausen as a Met. And Tom Pagnozzi for the Cardinals. Checklist. Reggie Sanders, again, we just pulled him. And Todd Stottlemyre for Oakland. Not Todd Van Poppel, the very popular Oakland pitcher for about a year or so in baseball card land. Scott Lewis just sitting on the bench again, or the stairs, I should say. Fred McGriff, Braves. Cal Eldred for Milwaukee. Behind him is Frank Rodriguez for the Twins. Kind of a weird shot there. We have modern technology. Todd Zeal, look at that on his phone. Oh, yes. And we have a best performance in the All-Star game. Nominees Jeff Conine, Hideo Nomo, Randy Johnson, Frank Thomas, Mike Piazza, and the winner is Jeff Conine. And we got Joey Cora on the other side of this one. I'm trying to separate it. These two do not want to separate. All right, I'm going to come back to that in a second. We have Alex Gonzalez, one of a couple of Alex Gonzalez's that have played for Toronto. Checklist. Todd Stottlemyre, Omar Vizquel. All right, let's see if I can get this without damaging. That one's really stuck on there. You can hear it popping, I bet. Wow. That does not want to separate, people. If there's definitely going to be some chipping on this one. Ugh. Just kind of work my way around the edges, I guess. These will not be gem mint. It's like totally glued in the middle. You can hear. Well, there you go. Pretty brutal there. Jeff Conine, Joey Cora. So, like I said at the start of the video, my fear was always going to be some bricking. We actually haven't had too much of that with this one, but clearly Topps didn't have their foil figured out yet to make them not stick like that. The rest of the base cards seem to be fine. We got Ruben Sierra for the Yankees. Jim Edmonds for Anaheim, well, California Angels at the time. Jeff Suppan for Boston. Tony Eusebio for Houston. Brady Anderson for the Orioles. We have another extreme player, I believe. Yes, we do. It is another bronze. Geronimo Baroa for Oakland. Our second extreme player. Scott Cooper for St. Louis. Tom Glavine for the Braves. A checklist. Frank Thomas for at least the third time. And Ray Langford. So we're almost done with this box. Again, the goal here really was get some nice base cards. Figured this was a set that a lot of people maybe didn't collect. Joe Oliver, Mariners. Antonio Osuna, Dodgers. Roger Pavlik, Texas. Chano Park for the Dodgers. Behind him is Alan Bennis for St. Louis. Travis Fryman for the Tigers. Roger Cedeno for the Dodgers. We got Frank Castillo for the Cubs. Another junk card. Matt Lawton for the Twins. And Mark Lemke. I don't think we said Mark Lemke's name yet. So we're still getting a few new ones. John Wasden for Oakland. Terry Steinbach, also Oakland. Sandy Alomar for the Indians. Mike Matheny. We got Edgar Martinez for the Mariners. It's a nice card of Edgar. Scott Brocious for Oakland. Oakland hot pack here. Eric Young for the Rockies. We got Brian Hunter for the Astros. Another junk card. Bobby Jones for the Mets. And Fernando Vina for the Brewers, punching somebody in the face. Is that Pudge? I can't tell. Looks like it's Rangers. Must have been an interleague game, though. Next pack, Jim Edmonds. I don't think we pulled that card yet. Jeff King for the Pirates. Tony Phillips for the Angels. Roger Pavlik for Texas. Behind him is Glenn Dishman for the Padres. Brady Anderson for Baltimore. Pete Sherrick for the Reds. The Blue Jays get Al Leiter. Another one of those junk cards. Kilviar Veras for the Fish. And Oral Hershiser for Cleveland. Penultimate pack out of this box. Then we'll move on to... We'll go in ascending order. So we start with the oldest. We'll do Dunner's Preferred, the tin next. We've got Antonio Osuna for the Dodgers. Domingo Cedeno for the Blue Jays. Chris Bosio for Seattle. There's another Pudge for Texas. Tim Belcher for Seattle. We have another, it looks like, extreme player card. Should be a silver. It is. It's Robin Ventura for the White Sox. Very nice. Craig Biggio for Houston. You can see there's some chipping on some of these. They're not all pristine. Chipper Jones for the Braves. Junk card. Travis Fryman for Detroit. And Steve Avery for the Braves. And your final card for this, final pack, I should say, for this box. And then we'll go to the tin. We got Terry Steinbach for Oakland. Felipe Lira for Detroit. Tommy Green for the Phillies. Armando Benitez for the Orioles. We have John Valentine for Boston. We have another Mickey Mantle card, our third one of those. Steve Finley for San Diego. Garrett Anderson for the Angels. A checklist. Chuck Knobloch for the Twins. And our final card of this box is Jody Reed for San Diego. Whew, that was a lot of names. That was a lot of reading. All right, so that's Stadium Club. By and large, not bad. I'm going to get some of these. I'll quickly show the highlights and I suppose the low light, the main low light, if you will. Get the base out of here. So obviously let's get all these. A lot of packing material right there. The low light clearly is the best performance all-star game card with the terrible chipping that was stuck to the Joey Cora. I didn't pay attention, but hopefully we pulled at least one better condition Joey Cora. So that's the low lights. Highlights included 2 bronze, starting pitcher Jose Rio and right fielder Geronimo Barrera, and then 1 silver Robin Ventura. So nice to get at least a decent player for the silver. We had 3 Mickey Mantle inserts, all with different photos, which is nice. I do like those. Those are, of course, all going to the Yankees. And then probably my favorite card is this Fred McGriff. I just like the colors. Power packed. And shows where all of his home runs went. That's kind of cool. So I like that one. A decent box for sure. Gives us some fun stuff. I also forgot. Let me grab real fast. I promised. I promised a bonus pack each week. Something random. So here's something random. MLB World Tour Tokyo Series 2025. I have no idea how this. Okay, 2 things about this pack. Number 1, I don't even know how I ended up with this pack. I assume it was a free gift or a throw-in for something that I ordered at some point. And number 2, I have no idea what makes this set any different than the regular top set, if it does at all. So why not? So these will all be added to the break. So bonus cards en route. We've got Cubs team card. On the backs of that looks just like a standard Series 1. So I don't know. We got Geraldo Perdomo for the Diamondbacks, Teoscar Hernandez, Dodgers, Ahmed Rosario, Reds, Trevor McGill, Brewers, Nathan Eovaldi, Rangers. We got the Yankees team card. Brooks Baldwin, White Sox, Brenton Doyle, Rockies, Francisco Lindor, Mets. We have a very nice one for the Royals, 1990 Topps, George Brett. There's a nice bonus. Made that pack worthwhile if you ask me. Going to JC. There you go, JC. Little bonus action there. And for the Giants, we've got a Matt Chapman. And for the Angels, we have a Shohei Ohtani. This is the Stars of Japan. So this must be the unique set. For this box, I'm assuming, or for this, whatever this pack came out of. Again, it's the only pack I have of this set. So at least I think so. So this is going to the Angels. Peach Pits, you got yourself an Ohtani. Been a while since the Angels got an Ohtani. So that's a fun bonus. And an Astros team card. So frankly, a pretty nice pack. I mean, the Ohtani alone probably made that whole pack worthwhile. So there you go. Bonus pack done. All right, let me grab a drink quick. Okay. So we're now going to open this tin of Donruss Preferred. Normally I just hack and slash these things when they're boxes, but I'm going to try to be a little more careful because I'm going to actually offer this up to, and we'll do a coin flip if we have to. I don't know whether either Jackal, who has the Braves, or Iowa State, who has the Twins. Technically, those are the 2 featured players on this tin. So if one of those 2 want this tin, then they can have it. If both of them want it, then I'll just do a coin flip. And if neither of them want it, then I don't know what I'll do with it because I do not want it. Here's what the tin options were for people that were trying to collect the tins. I don't really know what preferred honors mean. They look like just, I don't know, maybe they were rare or something. No idea. And I've never opened one of these, but as you can see, there appears to be almost a plastic band going all the way around this. Almost looks like a milk situation. So I flap that down. Oh, that's all we have to do. And then up we go. How about that? Okay, so we have that. And, and that's it. I was expecting a bit more. Giant foam, itty bitty pack. So that's something. That's probably why these cards are hard to get a hold of. I'm pretty sure there is a Barry Larkin or two from this set that I do not own. But we'll see what we pull here. So we have a Preferred Power. Grandstand is like stamped in the back there. Greg Maddux for the Braves. And these are also going to want to stick together a little bit, I can see already. Not too bad. So that's what the back of that looks like. Card 172. I don't know. I mean, it certainly looks like it's a parallel or something, but I don't know. I don't know enough about this set. We've got Pedro Martinez for the Expos. Looks like a standard kind of card. Interestingly enough, it says trade to Red Sox there, but it is labeled as an Expos card and an Expos logo there. So that will be going in the Expo stack. As with the next card, Vlad Guerrero. Woo, there's a shiny. That gold shiny. You can clearly see the difference between those two. I don't see that it says anything on the back about what it is. We've got another etched card of sorts. You can see the light catches that, like, kind of strange. Kareem Garcia, we just mentioned him with the Dodgers in the last box. So there you go for the Dodgers. And we end with a Mariners rookie, Shane Monahan. And that is Dunner's Preferred. I think I would prefer not to buy any more Dunner's Preferred. How about that, Dunner's? Tin's cool, I guess, but yeah, not quite what I was expecting. But that's the fun of doing random boxes. Ones I had never seen how those were distributed. So yeah, it was worth it just to see. I'm glad that wasn't the only box in the break, though. All right, one more box for tonight. And a lot of cards tonight. This is Panini Prism from last year, 2025. This is a mega box, 10 cards per pack, and we should get 6 packs. So if my math is correct, we should get 60 more cards. My math is always correct. Real question is Panini's math going to be correct? Ugh, does not want to open it. There we go. I was like bent down, and you can see how the packs are every which way in there. We'll just dump them out. There's your empty box. All right, and there should be an autograph lurking in here somewhere as well. So there we go. We got Paul Skeens as one of our cover boys on there. And good luck, everybody. This will be the final box for tonight. And then, like I said, we still have 2 more weeks of Breakers Club to go. So keep coming back, and we'll see what we end up with when all is said and done. All right, we're going to have some shinies. You can see that already. So we start with Tom Glavine for Atlanta. We got Brady Ebel. I believe this is unattributed, so this would be going to the non-MLB slot, which would be going to Swinko. And I'll double check that but there's no team listed. So there were a few like college guys or something in this set. And I believe that was one of them. We got James Wood for Washington. Nice one. Kellen Lindsay for LA. We got Mel Ott for New York. We have a Talisman, Bryce Eldridge for San Francisco. Kind of cool. We have one of those. We have 2 pink prisms. We get Bryce Matthews of Houston and Ethan Holiday. That is another one of the non-MLB players, if I'm not mistaken. Whoops, put those over there. We have Marcelo Mayer rookie card for Boston and Mac Horvath for the Rays. All right, next pack. I like getting some of the old timers in the in the packs. So we got Monty Irvin for New York, Shinizuki Ogasawara for Washington, Alex Gordon for the Royals, Johnny Farmello for Seattle. We have a nice green Jordan Lawler. Those are not numbered, but that is a green parallel going out to the Diamondbacks. That's Swinko as well. We have a prismatic Aiden Miller for Philadelphia. Look how pretty that is. That's a pretty sweet design. Going to the Phillies. Phillies are on my list someplace. Going to Mike. Might grab the Phillies. He'll probably be happy with that one. We got Wyatt Sanford pink for the Pittsburgh. And how about a nice Reggie Jackson going to Oakland? Oakland is super. No, not Super Gadget. Oakland. Where's Oakland on my list? Donnie has Oakland. Going to you, my friend. That's a nice one. I like that. Might be my favorite. Well, I don't know. That design's cool. Edgar Quera for the White Sox and Chris Davis for Baltimore. Next pack. Old school Yankee, Don Mattingly. Old school Cub, Sammy Sosa. Connor Norby for Miami. We have another green. Oh, it is an auto. Max Anderson for Detroit. A green sensational signature. Going to Engel Woodstock, who I don't think is in the room tonight. Maybe he is. Maybe he's just been quiet. But there you go. Going to Engel Woodstock. Congratulations on a nice Detroit signature. And it's green. Junior Caminero. This is a prism. I would call it a refractor, but Panini can't use that term, so they call them prisms, which is confusing because the set's called Prism. Detroit getting more love. We got Dingers. Miguel Cabrera. Nice. Another insert. Ryan Clifford for New York. For the Mets, Junior Caminero. There's a nice one for the Rays in pink. Rays going to Swinko. Colson Montgomery. Been hearing a lot about him this spring for the White Sox, and Gil Hodges for Brooklyn. A couple more packs yet. Looks like 3 more packs. They're nice chunky packs. I'll give them that. 10 cards and a pretty good card stock thickness. Got Ty Cobb for Detroit. Ching-Sin Ko for LA, Christian Scott for New York, Mike Schmidt for the Phillies, Cash Mayfield for the Padres. That's another prism. I probably have missed some of the prisms. We got Fireworks, Nick Kurtz rookie. There you go. Going to Oakland. Donnie getting in on more action now. There's a nice one. Marcelo Mayer, rookie for the Red Sox. That's Super Gadget. There you go. Another nice pull. Kyle DeBarge for Minnesota. Lou Gehrig for the Yankees. And Hyun-Suk Jang for LA. And we're down to our final 2 packs. And we start this one with David Ortiz. I do like the look of that card. Cam Caminiti for the Braves. Nick York for Pittsburgh. There's a Pee Wee Reese. You don't get cards of him that much anymore for Brooklyn. Kellen Lindsay, refractor thingy, going to LA. There's a gorgeous Ken Griffey Jr. orange, and that one is numbered. How about that? 15 out of 399 going to the Reds. New favorite card of the box for me. Very cool. Love it. Malcolm Moore for Texas. Luis Baez for Houston, Ian Kinsler for Texas, and Manny Ramirez for Boston. And this is it for tonight. Still managed to get it done in under an hour, but only barely. I know people seem to prefer the break nights to finish up in about an hour's time. Oh, JC, I missed the comment. Did confirm Holiday and Evil are unaffiliated. So thank you very much. We got a nice Cal Ripken for Baltimore. Joe DiMaggio for New York. Ryan Waldschmidt, Arizona. Trey Yesavage for the Blue Jays. Tony La Russa, manager card for for the Cardinals, we have a prismatic Kumar Rocker for Texas. And that's got a different finish than this one. You can clearly see the difference in the way the light hits those two. I like that one more, just the shininess of it. Owen Cassie, Chicago. Gary Sheffield for the Yankees. Ricky Henderson, Oakland. And we finish with Pedro as an Expo. So that'll go to the national slot. And there is your Prism break. So we pulled the Max Anderson auto and my favorite, the Ken Griffey Jr., but lots of nice cards. We had the Jordan Lawler green, not to be overlooked as well. I think that's a solid box. I enjoy the Prism brand overall for group breaks, especially. I like when you can get some kind of cool stuff. And yeah, so we still have 6 more boxes to go, including 98 Pacific Paramount, 2025 Donruss, 2021 Archive Snapshots, 2019 Optic, 2025 Finest, and 2025 Shoebox Treasures. We'll be opening 3 of those next week, and then we'll finish off with the last 3 in 2 weeks' time. So I do hope to see you then. And in the meantime, check out the Discord. We got lots of stuff going on there most of the time, people chatting and whatnot. I have been a little neglectful lately because I've been so busy with work. But my semester wraps up in about 5 weeks, I think. After this week, I think we have 5 weeks left. So I should be much more active once this semester is done. And yeah, still giving away cards over there. So do check that out. And other than that, have a lovely evening. Thank you, JC, Donnie, King Twist, and everyone else that was hanging out with me in the live chat. We're pretty quiet tonight overall, but I still appreciate those of you that were there. And yes, have a wonderful evening, and I'll be talking to you soon.